Good afternoon, profitable traders. If you can hear me, can you type in the chat box? This is just going to be a recap of what we analyzed during the London market color session. So for this segment of the market color session, I will be analyzing GBP USD, Euro USD, and the XY. Price after that, coming up for his analysis on gold and the yen basket. Starting off with the XY, just a recap of what was said earlier, what played out in the market. On the monthly time frame, coming down to this very level, we can see that overall, price has been bullish, but we've seen a sweep of this liquidity right here on the monthly time frame. And coming down to the weekly time frame, seen price taking out this very low at 100.03 spot 305 rather, right? And price retraced into this very fair value gap right here, and we're seeing some push to the downside. Coming down to the daily time frame, if we will be fibbing the most recent swing, from point A to point B. All right, we want to see price retrace into 61.8% fib level. And once price gets to this level, we're willing to continue the short on the XY. And even on the 4-hour time frame, earlier we were speculating that price was going to retrace into this left shoulder right here, the classic box pattern we use for analysis. Shoulder at 99.978. We've seen a sweep to the upside and a break to the downside. All we want to see price do is to retrace into this very left shoulder at 99.978 on the 4-hour time frame. And seeing that we're interested in, taking the buy, we're looking out for a buy to sell. So instead of me to wait for price to get there first before selling, I can actually spot a box pattern right here for a buy at 98.008 shoulder, sweep to the downside, break to the upside. We want to see price retracing fully into 98.008 before buying all the way to this very left shoulder on the 4-hour time frame, right? So seeing that haven't happened yet, I'm just going to keep watching into next week to see what price does on the XY. GBP USD, the monthly time frame, overall, we've seen a bearish direction, but we've seen price trading above this very high right here. And down to the weekly time frame, the same thing has happened here. We can even say that price is at a premium level. Since price is here, I actually expect some, retracement and a sell off that very level. Coming down to the daily time frame, fibbing this most recent swing from point A to point B, right? We can actually see that price traded into 50% fib level, and we're seeing some move off that point. Down to the 4-hour time frame also, right? We've seen a break of this very high right low, I beg your pardon. We've seen a break of this very low right here. And if I will be fibbing this swing from point A to point B, we can actually say that price retraced into 50% fib level. It's looking like it's holding off that point, but for me, I'd like to wait for price to retrace all the way to 61.8% fib level before, riding the sell. And where do I think price is selling into? Coming down to the 4-hour time frame, you can actually spot a box pattern for a buy. So this sell should, sell all the way to this very left shoulder, right? Sweep to the downside, break to the upside. We want to see price retracing back into the shoulder right here. So once price gets to this very left shoulder on the 4-hour time frame, this is what I am looking out to do. I'm looking out to continue the buy on GBP USD over a period of time, of course. It will not take place just today, right? So seeing that that has happened, I'm going to be looking out for entry signatures for a sale on much lower time frames. Right, this is still pretty much far on the 5 minutes time frame, but this box pattern may hold on the 15 minutes time frame, I beg your pardon. Shoulder at 1.35923, sweep to the upside, break to the downside. We want to see price retracing all the way to this very light shoulder. This is what I'm looking out for into next week. Seeing that today is the last trading day, but let's see what the market moves, what the market does rather before the end of day. In the monthly time frame for Euro USD, we're seeing that nothing has really changed per se from what we've analyzed. Right, all we've seen is just this liquidity right here, and price is doing its thing. And on the weekly time frame also, price is presently at premium, and of course, we want to sell when price is at premium. Short-term sell, of course, short-term sell. And favoring this most recent swing on the daily time frame, I'm speculating that price should retrace at least into 61.8% fib level right here, calling out the price point. I am looking out for price to retrace into 1.12657 on daily time frame, and to the 4-hour time frame, right? This is it. This low has been taken, right? And price has presently traded into this very fair value gap here. It tapped the first time and then went back, traded into it, and we're seeing some push to the downside, right? So we want to see price sell off into this very left shoulder over time. Left shoulder at 1.12644. Sweep at 1.12644. Shoulder rather at 1.12644. Sweep to the downside, break to the upside. We want to see Euro USD retrace back into this very left shoulder. So I'm looking out for a sell to buy. Sell into this left shoulder, and once price gets there, I'm interested in taking buy opportunities. So let's see if we can get any entry for that. Presently, on the 1 hour time frame, I can actually see left shoulder at 1.15649. Sweep to the upside, a break to the downside. All we want to see is what price to retrace into this very level, 1.15649. And once price gets there, best believe I will be shorting Euro USD. Please, if you have questions at this point, this is the right time to ask your questions or a different bias, a different outlook entirely from what has been analyzed. Please feel free to type in chat box before Likon comes up to wrap up today's session. We'll be analyzing gold and the end basket, just as I said earlier. If you have questions or a different bias, we're entertaining questions right now. And while you're still typing in chat box, registration for the ATM cash flow training and FX Wisdom training is currently ongoing. And chat us up on 081 6099 5030, and we will be helping with the registration process. Again, the number to contact is 081 6099 5030. There are no questions, and I'm assuming that the analysis was a bit clear. So we're going on a very brief break. Do not go anywhere, and we will be back shortly. Cheers and God bless.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Market Call brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. And this session, the New York session, we are going to be looking at the precious metal briefly, and then we go straight to the yen basket, and we round up with the yen correlated pairs. All right, let's start from the analysis of the precious metal. This morning, we've established the fact that yes, we are on a bullish trend for the precious metal. However, we are expecting a pullback into the trend line before we continue the buy all the way to the upside. So, what has the price did since morning? If you look at the analysis this morning, we said we are still expecting more sell to the downside, particularly to clear this liquidity point and this one that we draw here. So for price to clear it, then we start buying if we see any buy entry after price clears this level. But right now, all we are seeing is price has just been within that zone since morning. If you look at it right from 15-minute time frame, it becomes much more obvious. You can see price just was very quiet since morning there, and that is what we have right away. So today happens to be one of those days that we may just watch the market, go where we are waiting for it to get to before we execute. So we've been watching since morning because we've not seen any entry. There's no any entry for anything today. It's just a very quiet day, and this is just the beginning of the New York session. We may later see a buy move or more of the sell rather to where we're expecting it to get to, meaning for it to come and take out liquidity. This particular point we drew here in the morning. So that is our outlook on the precious metal. In case you are looking to maybe long it right now, I just did an inside study, and when I see on the 5 minute time frame, yes, it looks more like okay, this is the shoulder here. We've seen the sweep, we've seen the break, and price has come back to take out liquidity here, and it gave an entry signature here for a buy. But I don't use the 5 minute time frame to take gold because the indecision will be too much. All right, so better we use a time frame that helps us much. And knowing fully well that price has not really come to take out the liquidity point here is also more concern to me. And I've been observing something since Monday on the precious metal, knowing fully well that the uh, Israel Iran war going on, which we ought to be seeing the precious metal longing, but we are seeing it instead. It keeps selling to the downside. That should tell us that this current war has been priced into the market even before it begins. However, we can still see the more of the effect of it maybe next week. So let's just be patient enough and watch. But based on technical analysis, we still want to observe how that price will take out this liquidity point that we have here, and you can see that from our 4 hour time frame. That was where we drew that out from, meaning price coming to take out this liquidity point. Look at 1 hour time frame. Yes, obvious, this is it here. So price taking out this, then this would be our shoulder, this would be our sweep, this would be our break, and price taking out this liquidity, and we can easily begin to long if we see any signature there. But if not, then price is coming straight, tap into this other block or even violate it a bit and start buying from these points that we have on the other side here. So that is our outlook for the precious metal today. Now a quick one to Japan to see what exactly is going on the yen basket. Now, if you look at the yen basket this morning, we've seen everywhere, it's been a sell day for the yen basket. And we said this morning too that we are expecting price to come and take out this liquidity, this double bottom here. This liquidity point, we expect the yen basket to come and take it out. Then we now see the buy move because we are still anticipating for the yen basket is for it to trade all the way into this other block, weekly other block with a confluence of a fair value gap inside of it. But right now, what the yen basket is doing is still itching towards the downside for it to come and take out that liquidity level But if you look at the corresponding move on the other yen correlated pair, starting with GBP, JPY, we are going to observe that yes, it's been bullish all the way to the upside. And we have somewhere we want to short GBP, JPY from. If you look at it on 1 hour, remember, because of this move that we have here, and that is the reason why we want to short it. This show that we've seen the sweep with the build of liquidity here. So we expect price to take out that level. So let's wait and watch this session, how that price takes out this level, and we'll go to our 15 minutes to go and check for the entry signature so that we can sell if price takes out that level. Now let's quickly take a look at the uh, back play of price some days ago. Now, if you look at the price action here, you will see it very well. This is the shoulder within the sweep, but price later built more liquidity point here before it starts selling. But on the 1 hour time frame, this is the obvious liquidity point. Now, refining it more into the lower time frame, I would wait for price to take out this. When price take out this, there's high tendency to come for this point. All right. But wait, immediately you see price take out this, wait for your entry signature for a sell. Something like this is what we will look out for if we want to sell. This is the entry signature. We have something like this if you want to sell. You see your bearish engulfing, then we begin to sell all the way to the downside. All right. So that is the outlook for us for the GBP JPY, meaning we want to wait and see what price does at this current spot where it is right now. You can see there has been a tussle a lot at that particular point. So let's wait and see who wins the race before we join the winning team to follow and trade in their direction. All right, so that is for GBP JPY. And lastly, let's quickly take a look at AUD JPY. Just as we said this morning, the AUD JPY seems to be more of the one lagging right now compared to GBP JPY and other yen correlated pair. Remember the trade since Monday, and that is what has been in play. Price has not really dropped; it's just been ranging. We've had a very ranging market for AUD JPY. So, what's the best thing one can do right now? Since we are expecting the yen basket to play is double bottom, then there's high tendency AUD JPY also pushes up a little bit more. Now let's check it on the 4 hour time frame. If you look at the 4 hour time frame, there is a fair value gap inside of this zone. If you can, zoom out on your chart and draw it, you are going to see that much more clearly. This fair value gap here, there's high tendency that is where price is coming to target for AUD JPY. This is it here. We have something similar like this for AUD JPY, the fair value gap. So this the move of Tuesday can be violated. So if you want to get out of that trade, it's possible. But I'm seeing price coming here because of the move we are expecting on AUD on the yen basket. So AUD JPY has high tendency of buying more into this particular level. So this one now seems more to have been over because of it takes a long time, over 3 days, just ranging in between. So we may just see the last push of AUD into this zone, then we begin to sell to the downside. What am I trying to say in a nutshell? That we may see this happen for AUD then we'll start selling to the downside. Why? Because we've seen what GBP is doing. GBP already, made its own move to the upside, and now we are expecting it to clear liquidity and start selling, of which AUD has been ranging. So we expect AUD to make its own move to the upside. Now, if you come and look at AUD on the 15-minute time frame, that move to the upside for us, this would have been it because, but we did not see any real entry signature for the whole of this buy. So, but we see the sweep of liquidity, the break of market price coming back all the way to that shoulder this morning. But the signature is not really there. Even till now, this is the only signature we see all throughout today. And we don't want to buy here, it's buying from premium. All right. So that is it for the yen correlated pair. and also the precious metal. If there's any question, you can easily type and let us quickly check it together. Someone said, please, I know there's a recorded session, but please look through gold again from the daily. Uh, so sorry, sir. We keep to time. When you miss the analysis, please always keep to time. That is what we do at the beginning of it all. All right. That's it. So our bias for gold, in summary, our bias for gold is that we are still expecting it to sell all the way to take out liquidity on this particular level, which is on the 1 hour time frame. So this is what we're expecting for gold to do: take out liquidity here and start. You know, if we see any entry signature after taking out liquidity, we can start buying back to the upside. But the overall move still remains a buy trend because it has been, respecting the trend line. All right. So that is it for gold. If there's any other question, you can easily type in the chat box. And if there's no question, this is going to be the end of the market call off for the week. All right. So, once again, trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. If you are still going to trade for the New York session, make sure you use your proper risk management strategy because today being Friday and we are approaching the close of the market for the week. To meet again on Monday, 8:30 a.m. is the time. And also remember and be expectant of our mail on Sunday so that you have an insight to what you should expect for the week and also prepare yourself mentally for the profitable week ahead. All right. So if there's no more question, thank you very much. This is the end of the market call for this week. We meet again next week, Monday, for the New York session by 8:30 a.m. Once again, I'm Lekon Shemi. Cheers and God bless.